Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If I remember correctly, this is actually part 9 of working on the tractor motor. And so, as you can see, I have the engine head set on. I got that put on, here a couple hours ago. Sure enough, my one cousin stopped by, and so he helped me get that dropped up in there. And I actually used the forklift over there to take and I used a ratchet strap and hung it from a exhaust manifold bolt right here and an inner air cooler bolt on this side, and then just simply took and hung it from the forklift and just drove right in, and he made sure it was lined up and then lowered it right down top the block. Worked great. So what I've been working on is getting all the head bolts put in. And so what I've had to do is I've got all the ones going up on the right hand side here in. The ones that go right here, and these here actually go under the rocker arm assembly for the rocker arms. And what I found out, well, I knew it was going to happen, is with this being underneath the rocker arm assembly, sure enough, once you put the rocker arms in, you have no way to access these to finish torquing them down. And so I was reading in my IT manual, because they got to go to 165 on the torque setting. And so what I've done is the ones I got in here now, I went across, and first starting out, I went the pattern that the manual showed. And I took them all, I started out and I took them to 40 foot-pounds. In fact, a neighbor of mine suggested that. So I took them all to 40. Then I went across, I upped my torque wrench and I jumped it up to 100. Went across, took them all up to 100. And then these right here, in fact, the manual says you gotta have a special adapter. Well, I don't have one. And so what I did is I actually just went ahead and took these to 165. And so once again, same thing. Started right here in the middle, start here, jump back here, over here, and then just keep jumping, crisscrossing back and forth, working my way to the end. So let me see here. There's the rocker arm assembly. And one thing, sure enough, on one of my previous videos, I didn't have the camera set just right, so I tried to get the angle down just a little bit more. That way you can pretty much see right here. And so if I actually get the camera mounted just right on my head, I can kind of look up and see the back of the screen. And so I think, just from what I can see, that looks better. So we're going to get the rocker arms in there. For no bigger than what that thing is, it's got some weight to it. Okay, I'm catching somewhere. Oh, there we go. There's a little oil line that pushes oil down the tube, oils up all the rocker arms. Then it comes out here on this end tube, then drops back down by the push rods. So I gotta finish getting that thing tightened up. So let's see. The one odd thing though is I've been looking all over in my manual, and for these small bolts here, let's see here, that takes a 9/16 inch. If I remember correctly. Yeah, 9/16. So that's a 3/8 bolt. It does not give me torque setting on that one. Now these here just naturally go down in and screw into the top of the head. They do not go clear through into the block. And so And just like I've always said on previous videos, well, it's when I did the combine on that final drive, taking oil up your bolt, the bolts that way. When you do go to torque them down, it's not coming down in bare metal against bare metal. And so what I do is I take and oil up the threads, put them in, and then if you saw that on that combine final drive rebuild, on the lug bolts on the tires, I put the lug bolts in down to where you had just a little bit of a daylight gap, and then put a little bit of oil right there underneath the shoulder of the bolt. That way when it comes down into oil, and you're not coming down and hitting steel on steel. You're coming down, it's got an oil film, that way you can achieve your proper torque setting. And like I say, it's not showing any, so probably what I'll do is I will probably take and torque those to 25 to maybe 30 foot-pounds approximately. Thought I heard somebody pulling the driveway. Guess not. Okay, come on, get lined up. There we go. Ah, there we are. Much better. And I did the same thing on all the head bolts as well. Oil up the threads, and then to also run the bolt down, and then just before the shoulders make contact, take and shoot some oil up underneath it. Okay, now I'm not going to take and oil those up just yet, because I want to, because back here on the back side there are actual long head bolts that go clear through into the top of the block. And so right here they are, there's 6 of them. All the shorter ones are 5 inches long, and these here are 8 inches long. So I'm hoping we hear something from the guy tomorrow that is working on the injectors, because the guy that worked on the head is not the same one that worked on the injectors. He does not have the equipment to check injectors. And so for any injector stuff, he sends it to another guy that he knows. which works out just as well. And he kind of thought he might have them, midweek or so, roughly. But at least this way I can take and get a lot of stuff done and get it all put back together again. Because I don't like having a bunch of stuff all torn apart and then it just sits around for weeks on end. I had to take it apart, fix it, get it back together again, job done. Oh, you know what, I just happened to realize something. Set them right there. I forgot to put the push rods in. I got sidetracked talking to my camera and not paying any attention. Engine's not going to run too well without push rods. Okay, we're all loose. Let's just see if we can simply take and set that forward right there. Okay, and before I put them in, I want to take and just give each one a quick wipe down. They're already clean, I just want to make sure. In fact, actually, let's take and walk over here to the other side of the tractor. Be easier. And right there's my manual book. And I think I told you when I took the intercooler off this thing, well, no, not the intercooler, the valve cover. I didn't realize it had dirt in the thing, so it dumped dirt right down through that push rod and those push rod holes, right down into the block. So I had to take and I took a little pump sprayer and put gas into it. And then just went right down through there and washed it all out, and that actually cleaned it up pretty good. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to call that an end to part 9 here. I'm going to finish getting these on, then I'll bring you back in when I'm ready to start doing the torque settings. So take care, thanks for watching, see you next time.